Hi everyone, it's your boy Ricky here with Romero Cards for Honeybee Stamps. Thank you so much for being here today. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for being here at my channel. Today I will be making a Christmas card using some products from the latest release from Honeybee Stamps. We're going to be using a variety of products today, a lot. But before we get to the video, I just want to ask you to do a few things. First, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for returning and supporting me. Secondly, thumbs up this video when you get to the end if you really like it. I'd really appreciate that. Third, click that notification bell so that you know a new video comes out. And lastly, share the love. If you know someone that would love this video or may be inspired by this video, go ahead and send it out to them. It may bring them over, they may subscribe, and they may even start making cards. So without further ado, let's get down to the desk to see what we're going to be using today. Okay, so today's card, we are going to be using the Holly Border stencil set along with the coordinating die. We're going to be using the Peace, Love, Joy stamp set along with the coordinating dies. We're also going to be using the Christmas Lights stamp set along with the coordinating dies. We're going to be using one of my favorite embossing folders, the Snowflakes embossing folder. We're going to be using some black and white cardstock and the MISTI and some distressed inks. So let's get ready for the first thing. I will be right back and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is run our black piece of paper through the embossing folder. So we're going to go ahead and place this into the embossing folder. And then I'm going to run this through the die cutting machine, and then I'll be right back to show you what that looks like. Okay, so we ran this through the die cutting machine. Let's take a look, see what this looks like. Ooh, yes. Gosh, that looks so good. I love it. I love embossing on black paper. It looks so nice. All right, so let me put this to the side and we'll get ready for the next step. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is some ink blending so that we can go ahead and get our border done. What we'll do is we'll do the first color here. We're just going to do a light green. And this is actually a pretty easy one to do, you guys. It's not that hard. It's okay if you get outside of the lines here because we're going to be die cutting it anyway, so it's all good. All right, so we got that one out. Then what we do is we take this off, and then we move up to the next step here, which you just get everything nice and lined up. There we go. And then we're just going to do a different color green here. Okay, we have that done. Then we move up to the next step, which is the holly berries. I'm going to move this down a little bit. My head might get in the way for a few moments. When we get this all nice and worked out here. There we go. Then I'm going to take festive berries. There we go. All right. Then we go to the next step, which is number 4. There we go. And then on this one, I'm going to use the H Mahogany, which is a darker red. And I think because it's a darker red, I'm just going to use my brown brush here, actually. All right, let's see here. perfect. And then last, now we could either do one of two things here. We could do maybe like a gold embossing here, but I'm just going to use a green to get this covered up. So then I'm just going to go in with Rustic Wilderness, which is the darker green, and we're just going to cover this up. There we go. So there we have our border. Then let's go ahead and take this out. Move this to the side. And then we are going to bring out our die and get this taped up and run it through the die cutting machine. Alrighty. So let's get this lined up. Excuse my head for a minute. Let's see here. That looks good about right there. Alrighty. Let's run this through the die cutting machine real quick. Actually, let's cut this. This doesn't have to be this big. There we go. All right, let's get this through the die cutting machine. All right, there we go. We have this cut out. It's a little off, but it's fine. It'll be great. All right, so I'll be right back with the next step. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and stamp out the sentiments and do the heat embossing. And I decided to go with Peace and This Holiday Season, so I already have it onto my MISTI. I'm going to rub this down to condition the stamp. And then we're going to take our anti-static tool, because we don't want any of the powder to stick to the paper. And then we will take our Embossing ink by Honeybee Stamps Clear and just pat this down really good. We're going to stamp it. We don't want to press too hard because we don't want to make the letters smush and look weird. And then we can do that a couple times just to make sure it gets a good impression. I think I might have to do this 3 times because I didn't get a really good one the first time. There we go. And then let's just do one more for good measure. There we go. Alrighty. Let's put this to the side. Bring out our catcher. Actually, I'm going to do this in gold, I think. Yeah, gold. Oh, looks like it came out perfect the first time. All right, that looks good. All right, I'm going to heat emboss this off camera, and I'll be right back and do the die cutting. Okay, so we got this nice and heat embossed. Check that out. Really shiny, really pretty. And then we're going to go ahead and get these die cut out. So that goes here. And then this goes here, I believe. Yep. All right, let me pull this down a little bit. We're going to have to put my head in the way for a moment. That looks good. And then that looks good there. I don't think I need tape there. Okay, Let's run this through the die cutting machine. Let's see what this looks like. Ooh, perfect and beautiful. Love that. So pretty. And then this is cut out just perfect too. Very nice. Okay, let me clean this up and we'll go to the next step. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is stamp out the 2 ornaments from the Christmas Lights Vintage box set. So we'll just take these guys, rub them down real good, and stamp these out with the Honeybee Stamps Intense Black ink. And we'll stamp it out one more time. All right, that looks good. Let me go ahead and clear the desk and we'll get started on the next step. We're going to be doing some Copic coloring, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the ornaments here and we are going to do some Copic coloring. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a few lines. I'll probably do like one color of the stripe here. And then I'm just going to fast forward through the rest of it because I don't want to talk through the whole thing. And I'm sure you don't want to hear me talking through the whole thing. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do the first couple lines and then you'll hear some music as I color along the rest. So let's go ahead and get this started. I think I'm gonna do this one in probably a traditional red. So we're just gonna start out with R39. Just kind of go up this way. And then down this way. Ooh, I think this marker's getting dry, you guys. And then R35 will come up. A little more. Then R29. We'll bring it together. All right, so what I'm going to do is start playing some music and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so at this point, I did not turn the microphone back on, so I will be doing a voiceover for mostly the rest of this video. But, so the one thing I wanted to do is go ahead to stamp out the chains for the ornaments here. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to place these in 2 different areas of the cardstock, and that's because we have matching dies that can actually cut out this chain. Actually, it's just one die, but it cuts out both chains. And then the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and get these cut out through the die cutting machine. There are coordinating dies that go along with this, so I'm just going to get these lined up with the images. And then I'll grab some tape so that we can make sure that they stay in place. And then we'll also grab the chain die for this as well. We're just going to use some tape here. This tape has been reused so many times, I'm not even sure if it should really be used anymore to be to sticking things down because it's so loose. So we'll go ahead and run that through the die cutting machine. There we go. It's going through pretty quickly. I like this little die cutting machine because it is pretty quick putting dies through it. All right, and now we have the perfectly cut ornaments. And then we also have the chain, and we'll also cut the chain out again, but I just won't show you that part. All right, so now we're going to start putting the card together. We are going to take our honeybee stamps glue and go ahead and get this panel placed onto the card base. We'll use plenty of glue because this is embossed, so you want to make sure there's enough glue to hold the whole panel onto the card base. And this does cover the whole card base front, so we want to make sure that it's nice and even. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the holly piece and we are going to place some foam tape under that, but we don't want to put it too close to the bottom because we will be putting those chains underneath the holly that it's like in quotation marks hanging from. So what we're going to do is, first of all, I just want to make sure this fits, that it's going to look okay. And there we go. And I'll remove the backing. And then we're also going to put some liquid glue on the back of this because I don't trust myself to get this even the first time. And I don't want it to get stuck and not be able to get it off. So if you put a little bit of glue on this, it makes it a lot easier to pull up if we need to. So I'm going to get that nice and lined up. And actually do pretty good the first time. There's my head, excuse me. So we got that there, that's fine. And then what we're gonna do is put a bunch of foam tape on the back of the ornaments, on the back of the sentiments, and get those all lifted up. And then we will place them onto the card. Okay, now we're gonna start putting the card together. We will be removing the backing from the chain. And then we'll place that a little bit under the holly there, get that straightened up, and then we'll go ahead and remove the backing from the ornament as well, if I can with my big old man hands. There we go. All right, we have the first ornament down, then we'll go ahead and do the second one as well. Get that placed down onto the card. Then we are going to take the piece, take the backing off of that, and place that down under the blue part of, or the blue ornament. And we want to make sure that's lined up and straight. It looks straight, but I'm kind of like questioning myself. And then we'll place this final sentiment down as well. There we go. See, there I am. I'm questioning if it's straight or not. So I'm going to pull that up a little bit to see if I can make it a little bit straighter. I think it was fine the way it was, but you know, whatever. Sometimes we go back and forth doing this. Okay, so now we have the smaller sentiment that's going on to the card. And then that's pretty much the card here. I am going to be adding a little bit of bling here. So I'm going to be using some rhinestones from one of the releases. I can't remember which release this is. It'll be linked down below in the video. Harvest something, it looks like. But I'm just going to take a couple of these garnet looking rhinestones, and I'm going to be placing those in the centers of the snowflakes that are embossed on the card. Okay, so I've placed plenty of these onto the card base now, and the card is pretty much complete. I am going to add just a few more here because they needed it. And just to make it a little bit better looking. So we have the card here. This is the final result. There we go. And you can see that red popping as the light hits. And then we're going to go to the forward facing camera where I realize the microphone is back on. So here we are again. To you guys forward facing here. There we go. So it's got that bling bling on there. It looks super nice. I love it. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. Make sure that you head over to Facebook and Instagram and check out Honeybee Stamps, and then click the links down in the description to take you over to their store to check out all the latest parts of the release. Also, you can find me over on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook by searching for Bromero Cards. And until next week, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!